Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. There is a heated Twitter debate on Musalia Mudavadi, William Ruto's 30% myth from a power sharing document that was crafted by Kithure Kindiki team, and part of what was agreed exclusively has actually been leaked by a close Mudavadi ally. I want us to look at it and really interrogate whether someone got a raw deal, but is it really in order? But what could also be the behind the scene intrigues behind this heated conversation? Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the notification bell, and also like our video. For those who are watching for the first time, I want to say thank you very much for supporting the Bold podcast. This is the most informative political podcast in this country. And I want to take you to a Twitter handle of Stephen Mutoro. Stephen Mutoro is the chair of COFEC. The 30% of government promise myth and why the Mulembe nation, especially Bungoma, is quietly but intensely asking Honorable Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi what happened to clause 221N of the KK coalition agreement. Then he tagged Atwoli, Wamunyinyi, Simiyu, Eugene Wamalwa, and Speaker Lusaka. Intention was very clear, to just ask the question directly to Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula. In what is actually revealing, if you look at that Twitter thread, is that there have been intense lobbying from both Mudavadi and Wetangula allies that after promising us that we were going to be part of it, it is being understood that at least only 5% have been absorbed in government. I will also be fair enough to help us see what exactly Mulembe Nation have got and whether the Stephen Mutoro's statements is something that should be looked at. And I think in one of the thread he said, true, that MOU, like others, was never meant to be honored. It's dead and buried, done and dusted. Painful part, some beneficiaries shamelessly calling themselves third in command used the community the region name for their self-interest. That must stop. It was about the individuals. Well, he is actually saying that it was about the individuals. Let me put my comma there and ask. If you look at the way the way government is being, government is taking shape. We are done with cabinet. Permanent secretaries, principal secretaries are already been picked. It's just about the National Assembly vetting. And the next phase perhaps will be the chairman of the parastatals and all that. So what Stephen is actually saying is that despite of that push, they have not got what was promised. However, that agreement also had a clause that they had to deliver 70%. Did they deliver 70%? But in the campaign trail, they explained that it was not that Western was supposed to deliver 70%. They were supposed to deliver the whole process. For them to win presidency, they were supposed to get 70% from Western. Not that Wetangula and Mudavadi were supposed to bring. But again, secondly, there's a thin line as to whether what was promised was to be given to Mulembe Nation or it was to be anchored on ANC and Ford Kenya parties. Because ANC is not exclusively a Western Kenya party. Even the chairman of the party is from Lamu. Ford Kenya, we may be told there is an attempt for us to be convinced that it's a West Kenya party, that it's a national party, but I think Ford Kenya is simply a Bungoma party. That's where they have the governor and they had also the senator. So this is the document that has been leaked, and what Steve shared. He said, look at section 21N. ANC and Ford Kenya shall have 30% share of the positions in the National Assembly, national government, including cabinet secretaries. That, do you think they've got? The answer is no. We look at that. Principal secretaries, the answer is no. Ambassadors, high commissioners, heads of diplomatic missions in different countries, chairpersons of state corporations, directors of state corporations, chairpersons of directors of constitution commissions, provided that the aforesaid 30% share positions in the national government shall be shared equally between ANC and Ford Kenya. Actually, it's between ANC and Ford Kenya, not about the Mulembe nation. So, someone can still argue that whatever was given to Mudavadi, not that all of it he gave to Mulembe, some of them he gave to ANC allies that not necessarily are coming from Mulembe nation. So, that is the conversation that Steve have that have come up. I want us to look at just to know. Of course, let's look at really what the numbers are, and what you are seeing. The chart you are seeing is how they fared. Trans Nzoia, Raila got 132,000, Ruto 116, Ruto got 46% out of 70. Kakamega, Raila 327, Ruto 141. That one, Raila was at 40, Ruto was at 28. Vihiga, Raila 6, Raila 114,000, 67,000 for Ruto. That was at 36%. Bungoma, 255 for William Ruto, and Raila 63,000. Ruto got 63%. I've always thought about it. If something was done, if there was a place that things I don't think was the true representation, that was Bungoma. Maybe we cannot revisit that. But these figures from Bungoma are normally a bit worrying. So generally, that's what William Ruto got. Now, so far what we have seen, Moses Wetangula, Speaker, National Assembly, Ababu Namwamba, CS Sports, that was Mulembe, but I don't think anchored on the ANC, because Ababu Namwamba was in UDA. But that position has been dangled there as an ANC or as a Mulembe nation affair. Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet Secretary. Susan Wafula, Health, CS Health. PS Kisiangangi, James Muhati, and a few others. But at hivyo Mulembe, I think they have not fared so badly. If you ask me, they have not fared badly compared to other areas, even though they did not really have, it's about the votes, even though the V2 Ziligawenya part the votes. But that's so far what they've got and what they gave William Ruto. Don't you think that this assertion about 30% should either be here or not there? Now, the other bit of that was in that document that has been leaked is construction of bitumen roads. This was specifically to be prioritized for Mulembe nation, for Mulembe areas. Then revival of Mumias and Webuye pan paper, of course, just reviving the economy, but there was supposed to be priority on what is to be done in those areas. But some allies are actually saying that they have tried to ask these questions to Wetangula and Mudavadi, but the fact that someone is third in command is just enough. And so, even someone saying that it's too late for Wetangula and Mudavadi, they must have table manners. That when you're in the table, you don't start complaining or doing some other things. So they're just saying to have table manners. What exactly is happening, ladies and gentlemen? The truth of the matter here is, we've seen PS list is out, and PS is for the permanent secretaries. That list was supposed to be, amongst the factors that is supposed to be considered, is seasoned career civil servants. Of course, Other factors, those who are also presidential picks. There is the positions of CAS that are coming. These will be posted in different ministries. Now, these are the political positions. What is playing out is just lobbying for these CAS positions. There is intense lobbying, and people are just scrambling for the stake. There is no any other way to say that. People are just scrambling for the stake. Even though this narrative that Mulembe was shortchanged or that Wetangula Mudavadi was shortchanged, that narrative will comfortably help Wafula Wamunyinyi to stage a coup against Wetangula in Bungoma. The by-election is knocking. Senate by-election in Bungoma is knocking. I think, according to ABC, it's supposed to be scheduled. It's scheduled to be on 8th December. Wafula Wamunyinyi is flying DAPK ticket under Azimio la Umoja in Bungoma. And this is the line. This is what he's telling the voters, that we simply got a raw deal. It is fine. Of course, you cannot underestimate the position of Speaker of the National Assembly. That is the third powerful person, especially in terms of third powerful person in terms of order. The third in command is Wetangula. Even that post is even ahead of Mudavadi. And that narrative is what is being dangled to Mulembe Nation, that third in command, so should not ask about something else. We are the third in command. But Wafula Wamunyinyi is simply invoking this conversation and taking this conversation to the people that we got a raw deal. It is successfully being used as a lane, a messaging against Kenya Kwanza, if such exists, or against William Ruto presidency to Bungoma residents. If Bungoma gave 255,000, honestly, no. Hapo ni too late, lakini hapo me I'm thinking hapo hapana. Hapo iko maneno. But then that is it. Eugene Wamalwa is regrouping the Western wing, and it's what is bringing these conversations. But if you look at the mood of Mudavadi is not feeling comfortable. And that's why he has started saying that, look here, let's stop complaining. He seems to be putting his sides, and if you've been keen, Mudavadi is not attacking Azimio. The only person that is attacking Azimio is Rigathi Gachagua and now perhaps William Ruto at times. But Mudavadi has kept his pace, and he has now gone back to the gentleman politics. Immediately after campaigns were over, he stopped attacking President Uhuru Kenyatta and even Raila Odinga. By all indications, signals are that Mudavadi is also feeling shortchanged. Do you think the 30% is there? Should it be given, or it remains the myth? As many people have looked at it. That's my bold.